Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the DOU, and I appreciate you being here, of course. It's been a minute. I would say it's been about a week since I created a video for you guys, but there's a lot of things that I'm looking into to grow the channel. So it takes a lot of research and studying to add a new software and work with that software. So I'm actually in the process of doing that now. And also I've been keeping up with certain headlines, certain media reports, and some I've disregarded as utter nonsense, complete underlined exclamation point, complete utter nonsense. And other stuff has been increasingly problematic and concerning. And you know what those things are. There's two major things going on right now. Well, three. The elections, and of course, C-19, and what else? Well, rioting. So with those things going on, just in my personal life, keeping abreast of developments and news is quite alarming. Sometimes I have to just look away because it's so unbelievably scary and interesting at the same. It piques your interest because you don't know, or I should say I don't know where it's all going, and it's concerning in that manner. You've been busy too. I'm sure you've of what's going on with Meghan and Harry, but on this channel, the DOU, we talk about everything that is royalty, celebrity, pop life, and alternative news, which I call alt news. There's a lot going on. So let's get right into it. Now, you know the full disclaimer is in the description box. And of course, we always say this isn't fun, but is it really funny? It's not funny. Is it concerning? It could be concerning, especially since we know that Meghan Markle has made it clear to many, many, many people, probably in her own circle, that she is thinking about or contemplating a political arena to step into. And that could be one of the biggest reasons why she's separating herself from the British royals. Now, I don't care what the popular media says, but if you look at various outlets and you expand upon your research, you'll see that a lot of it seems to be leaning really hard into a political future, if you will. So it's concerning for people, I'm sure, who don't feel like Meghan would best represent the country that they live in, or that Meghan is not up to par in any political sense to be a president. Basically, she has expressed distrust and dislike for the current president of the United States, and maybe that's kind of compelled her to go further. So I was looking at some current events with Meghan, and I believe I think Meghan is about to go into do some speaking for a agency called the 19th. Now the 19th's having some type of summit, and it's going to be virtual, which it seems like that's all Meghan's doing right now is virtual this and virtual that. And that too makes me think, wait a minute, with everything going on right now, they being the population that seems to voice all this quarantine stuff, says that we are free to move around now. We're generally free to move around and, go in person places, speaking in person. But yet we're seeing that not just Meghan, but a lot of people are not going in person to have speaking events or to participate in these speaking events. But we see here the 19th is holding summits, and I believe they're holding so let me explain what the 19th is first. They're a nonprofit, nonpartisan newsroom reporting on gender, politics, and policy. Now you can click here and read their story. And you see right here is Camilla Harris, her eyes looking quite regular. Normally that's Camilla Harris, the Camilla Harris we have come to be familiar with. But again, the 19th is basically, to me, it's a media outlet. You can find it on the 19thnews.org. And they seemingly are looking at a lot of things that are current events, as you see here, and a lot of this. Anyway, there's a lot on their website. Very informative. She's making a virtual appearance, I'll leave it at that, on this 19th Sunday. Over here, if you look, I thought you might like this. Let's see if I can do this in a good way. The first, I guess it's day 5. It starts on August 14th. It's going to have Camilla Harris, and there's going to be a moderator, Erin Haynes. She's the editor of the 19th. Performance by Dr. Isabel Alexander. She's a poet. W. Mellon Foundation. Oh, she's a scholar and president, of Andrew Mellon Foundation. Panel discussions will be Robin DiAngelo, Brittany Cooper, and Sunny Holston. Now, she's from The View. If you watch The View, she's going to be the moderator. If you look down here behind the 19th, it's one of the very last speakers. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, asked Emily Ramshaw, the 19th's co-founder and CEO, about creating a transformative newsroom centered on gender equity. Very interesting. So Meghan will be, I guess, interviewing Emily Ramshaw. And look at some of the agencies, just a few that are going to be working or support. They give money to, so I chose the Impact Seat, and I chose Panacea right here. So I chose these 2 companies. So let's go over and look, at in many aspects of entrepreneurship. The startup and entrepreneurial team, the crucial network of advisors, investors, and funders, are a wider regulatory and legal net. To each of these dimensions, we bring a focus on equity of opportunity and participation. We all have these organizations. This is in the United States, but however, we have these organizations, places, and a lot of times we don't even know what they do, about what they do and where they're from. Let's go over to another agency that works with the 19th is Panacea Collective. Now, I was really interested. I was like, a furniture company? The rental, lease furniture company? Okay, well, they're more than that. They're a complete event company, which is a whole nother ball game. So you can rent this stuff for your whole event that you're hosting. Pretty big to be able to support something like the 19th and the level that they're probably giving a certain amount of money. They're not giving $20, that's for sure. But I wanted to look down and see event highlights, and I wanted to know, why would a marketing event company be dealing with the 19th in terms of a nonpartisan agency that's a newsroom? Okay. Well, I went down, and as soon as I hit their website, I started to see some stuff happening. Like, here's former President Jimmy Carter, U.S. President Jimmy Carter. Here is We Shall Overcome 2014 LBJ Presidential Library sign is in the background here. This is former President Bush. We got 2 Democrats so far, and we have our 3rd Democrat, former President Bill Clinton. And so I kind of half recognize this guy, but I can't think of his name right now. And this is the host. He's in this video. And this is really interesting that we see that, because now I'm starting to see really clearly. And then you come upon LBJ Presidential Library 2014, and you see former President Obama, another Democrat. Just adding the Democrat, just pointing out that most of these men are Democrats. Sia is in line with. And this Willie Nelson. And I think that is another Democrat. Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. And you know, in the U.S. a lot is going on. So if that is the company, they're located in Texas, which serve them. I found that pretty interesting. I don't know if you do too. But again, so these are the events of her highlights of, highlights of the event, and it's her portfolio, or this person's portfolio. That almost looks like a wig, but
production company, design, and furniture rental company based in Austin, Texas. Combined 50 years experience producing events of all sizes, from backyard events to 50,000 person music festivals to 50,000 backyard events to 50,000 person is our sizes, from backyard events to.
I'm going to end there, and I may continue with a part 2. And nothing that is going to be seen or be able to be sold in terms of her photo, staying away from her usual realm of that nature and kind of insignificant things. And I think that she's trying to just distance so that she can come out the next time we see her in a more well-rounded, more professional demeanor, if you will, and more professional type of woman. Maybe she really is going to be gunning hard for the next round of elections in 2024. All right. Well, I will leave it there. Have a good evening, and I'll see you in the next video.